You're listening to KPFT. We are 90.1 on the dial here in Houston. If you're listening down in Galveston, pick us up at 89.5. Our friends up in Huntsville, Texas, and beyond, 91.9. Also, catch Songwriter Studio on Wednesdays, 4 p.m., Thursdays at 5 p.m. on our new HD2 channel. You are listening to Songwriter Studio. I am your host, Tom Tranchilla, and I have got a jam-packed show for you this evening, starting out with Texas blues legend Carolyn Wonderland. After that, I'm going to be playing brand new music off Elexa Dawson's new record, Stay Put. But first, let's get to our interview. Carolyn Wonderland. Carolyn, welcome to Songwriter Studio.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
You know, you're no stranger to KPFT. I think of all the Texas artists, you're one of the number one chosen artists, especially on all our blues shows on Sunday, and always bring out the crowd. Born and raised right here in Houston, and went to Langham High School. I'm sure you've got deep roots here and have a love for our city.
Yeah, Houston is home. It's, people ask me my hometown. I live in Austin. Houston's definitely my hometown. And KPFT, that's the first station I ever crawled into. I'd sneak in to see folks play there all the time. And I really appreciate y'all putting up with me as long as you have, to be honest.
Been on the air, I can't believe it, 55 years. I've been associated with the station for close to 25 years. So almost half that time. We started out with the ham radio show and then started Songwriter Studio almost 20 years ago. I can't believe it. And it's all because of artists like you that keep us on the air and the listening audience that continues to donate to KPFT. I can't believe we are now 100% listener sponsored, and that wasn't the case until we got our funding cut off from the federal government. So here we are. So thanks to the listening audience for keeping us on the air year after year. Carolyn, we talked a little bit briefly before the show about your time with John Mayall. What an honor it was to play with John Mayall. I think you were associated with him for something like 6 years. Why don't you let the listening audience know how that got started and time with John Mayall?
It started in late 2017. I was up in Woodstock hanging out. We had played a show and we were just packing up, getting ready to go. So we went and paid our respects at Levon's grave. And I was literally sitting on my suitcase, getting it to zip closed, and my phone rang. And it's a number I didn't know. So my friend Shelly's looking at me. She's, don't even bother with that. It's going to be some sales pitch. And I picked it up, and it was like my friend Greg Arzab on the line. Greg and I had known each other since back in the 90s when he was in Buddy Guy's band. It was him and Ray Killer Allison with the rhythm section. They were amazing. And Greg's been playing with John Mayall forever and a day, him and Jay Davenport. And he called me up and he said, hey, just curious, maybe you want to play on a track or two on John's new record. And I was like, oh my God, I'd be honored. Of course I'll try that. If you don't like it, you don't have to take it. I'm just happy to get to try it. It's like, sure, gosh, send it over. I'll give it a whirl. And then John picked up on the other line and he says, well, love, why don't you just join the band? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that.
Twist your arm.
Yeah, I was so floored. I was like, well, sure thing, and I called my agents and I told them what was going on. They were excited. I was like, well, that's sweet. Well, let's find out what your schedule is going to be. It was a lot more than I thought. I had assumed, because when I joined John's band, he was, 82, 83 years old. So I assumed it'd be more, maybe 20 shows here and there, that kind of thing. One of the first tours I did with him was like 50 shows, 60 days, 19 countries. And that was his norm.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, how does your voice stay that way? And he's just like, oh, I don't know, love. Okay. And he just had such a joyful time playing. I loved it too, because it was never the same set twice. He kept records of what show he had played last time he was in your city, and he would not play a single one of those songs. So it was beautiful. My first gig with him was at New Orleans Jazz Fest. We played at the Blues Tent, and that was cool because I knew a couple of folks from the crew from playing there previous years, and they were very nice and grounding, as I was just so nervous I could have flown off that stage. But he was so sweet and so beautiful. I can't imagine a better boss. I really can't. I mean, I still love him. I miss him a whole lot. He's been gone a year now.
Yes, I was going to make mention that he passed away last year, 2024, and luckily we still have his recordings. And if you listen to any of the XM stations or the public radio stations, they're still playing John Mayall. Thank goodness.
Yeah, and it was exciting. The last record we did was nominated for a Grammy, so it was really sweet to watch it on the TV and you go, where is he? Where is he? All dressed up. It was super cool.
Sweet. Carolyn, you're coming to town. You're going to be playing the Continental Club. We're going to talk about that later, but right now, brand spanking new album I received from Airplay, Truth Is, and you are killing it. Your slide work and guitar work on the record is so good. You brought in producer, legendary Dave Alvin was your producer on this record. And I was trying to
best.
Yeah, he's just terrific. Great songwriter, but an excellent producer. And
for real.
Let's talk about how many records you have out now. I couldn't figure it out. It's either 11, 12, or 13 releases. What does this make?
I think this will be 12 full-length ones, yeah. There's been a little halfy here and there, or or a single here and there, or collaborations with folks. But yeah, I think under my own name, I think this is my 12th full length. Yeah, second one on Alligator Records. And
That's right.
I can't believe I get to say that. I feel like I'm bragging when I say that.
You're with a real blues label now.
They're awesome, man. They're super sweet.
And their promotion, they're great promoters. They've got a lot of connections with radio stations all over the world.
It's beautiful. And I mean, the thing is like everybody who works there, they're a family and they operate as a great unit. And it's really telling when you can know that like the folks who've worked there the least amount of time have still been there 2 decades. I mean, that's people who love where they work. So I'm really lucky to get to be with them.
The brand new album, Truth Is, I've got track number 1, the opening track, queued up and ready to go. Sooner or later, you are just tearing up the slide on that. Give the listening audience a little background on Sooner or Later.
Well, Sooner or Later is one of those riffs. I was just sitting around on the lap steel, and it's like it just seemed like this is it. And I just had this feeling of these 2 characters. It's like sometimes I'm one, sometimes I'm the other. But how you have to follow each other into the trouble and realize it's like, man, we got to be here for each other because that's it. Sooner or later, you're going to find out.
From the brand new album, Truth Is, Carolyn Wonderland. This is Sooner or Later.
Well, I tried to warn you, now I'm pulling out thorns for going down with you in the eye of the storm. There ain't no lesson unless you wanna learn. Sooner or later, everybody gets burned. Sooner or later, everybody gets the turn. Sooner or later, everybody gets burned. To be where the scars mounted beggars race steeds, but they never get far. If you want a lesson, better listen your load. Sooner or later, everybody gets told. he's haunted by the ghost of his past. Try to make peace with every breath that you cast. Always a lesson, listen up while you can. Sooner or later, everybody makes a stand. Sooner or later, gonna have a plan. Sooner or later, gonna have to take a stand.
Carolyn Wonderland, truth is, sooner or later on that lap steel, just tearing it up. Great vocals, great guitar work, the consummate professional. If you're just tuning in, Carolyn Wonderland is our guest on Songwriter Studio. And Carolyn, thank you so much for spending a little time with us.
Thanks for having me. Super cool.
Talk about the next track I've got queued up, track number 2, I Ain't Going Back. B3 organ, Red Young playing some killer organ on this. And piano, Marsha Ball, is she playing the piano work on this?
Oh yeah, man. We had an absolute ball on this, to be real. I love all the piano players I got to play with on this record. It was so fun. You know, Red Young and I had played on the last album together, and he's just so fast at like coming up with, you know, hearing what's going on and putting the perfect part to change things or to move it in a direction. He's just a master of that. So I love getting to play with Red. And we had Bucket Allen on some as well, and it was just like he can set an atmosphere with just one chord. He's so amazing. And then Henry Herbert came and played. He did the Blues for Gene in particular, is this piece that the piano was so important, and he really captured the spirit of Gene Taylor, and it moved that song. So getting to have Marsha Ball, she's amazing in all respects. I got to have her sing and play, and man, yeah, I can't believe how much fun I got to have with my friends there. I got really lucky. Everybody was available. So I kidnapped Cindy Cash Dollar. I kidnapped Ruthie Foster. We say Shelley King was with me the whole time. We had a ball.
Man, you had some singers on this record. Congratulations on that. I did interview Ezra Charles a couple of weeks ago on the show, and him and Marsha Ball, probably the two hottest blues and boogie piano players in the state of Texas, just killer players.
I love Ezra. You know, downstairs I have a helping steel piano, and it's every time I go downstairs to play on it, I'm always reminded of how cool Ezra Charles is.
Well, his new record is just outstanding. It's sort of a greatest hits through his career, and needless to say, every song is just as good as the one before.
I just saw an ad for that. I'm definitely getting a copy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play I Ain't Going Back. This is just a killer song. You had already mentioned all the featured artists from the brand new album, Truth Is. This is Carolyn Wonderland.
Oh, hey, I ain't going back again. My will's too strong to break a bend. Step aside or lend a hand. I ain't going back again. Oh, I've heard all that you have to say. You stay in your yesterday. I got tomorrow here today. I've heard all that you have to say. Open wide. You might say I've gotten wise. Love me and act otherwise. Oh, pray for my demise. Open eyes. I've gotten wise. And truth is, you could still lose it all. And truth is, we have got to march before we crawl. May not like it, but you'd better believe it. I don't like it, but you know I believe it. Now truth is lying in dark alleyways, and truth is for sale at a price that we all pay. And truth is more than we can handle, or so they say. Now everybody's dying to believe it. Now truth is the first casualty of war, and truth is then and now worth fighting for. And truth is painful and necessary in order to know more. Rich or poor, you've got to believe it. I said rich and poor, you know you gotta believe it. I said don't you know it, got to believe it.
Ain't Going Back, followed up by the title track, Truth Is, Carolyn Wonderland. Why don't you explain to the audience what you just did there? Go ahead.
Oh, well, those two songs, when we play them live, I always love to blend them together. So on the record, I figured it would be our Jesus Just Left Chicago moment to have the two tracks melt into each other. I love hearing them get played back to back. That's cool.
And also on both those tracks, you've got Marcia Ball and Ruthie Foster doing vocals, pianos, and of course Red Young on that B3 organ just killing it.
Yeah, Shelley King on them vocals too.
Shelley
had a
King,
girl.
that's right.
Yeah, we had a girl gang in there. We had a ball.
You're just tuning in. Carolyn Wonderland is our guest on Songwriter Studio. Brand new record, Truth Is. You're coming to the Continental Club. Why don't you let the listening audience know about this gig coming up?
Well, I keep talking about how awesome Shelley King is because, well, she is. I'm going to do a show with her at the Continental Club Saturday, September 13th. So it's 8 o'clock doors. Shelley and her trio is going to play at 9 o'clock. And then we'll play at 10 o'clock. And it's going to be a ball because, I mean, come on, it's the Continental, y'all. That's always
right.
A good time. I love every chance we get to come to Houston in different rooms for different reasons. But, yeah, Continental's is a fun throwdown.
And this is not Austin's Continental Club. This is Houston's Continental Club.
Yeah, they're both beautiful. If you find yourself in the fair city of Austin, and if I'm not on tour, you can probably find me and Shelley doing a duo, Happy Hours Tuesdays in Austin. But Houston, every chance we get, we come. So Saturday, September 13th is the next chance we got.
And I love the character of the place. It's just a wonderful place. It's like walking back into a 70s bar.
It's perfect, man. It's home.
Let's talk a little bit about the next track we've got queued up and ready to go. Let's play a game. Your guitar work is just killing it again. You slowed things down, though, in excellent work also, you've got not only Shelley King doing vocals, but I believe she's playing acoustic guitar on this track.
Oh yeah, she plays acoustic on a lot of the songs on this. I got really lucky with that too. It's like she's a steady, beautiful rhythm player, and every now and then I even got like Dave Alvin to throw some cool licks in there too. I got really lucky, really, really blessed. And Let's Play a Game is a song that started when we were on tour. We were in Europe. It was around the time that the bomb fell over onto the Polish side, and we were in the Czech Republic playing, and we were doing a train tour. So on this train tour, we could see, families, refugees, leaving with all they had, and on every train car there would be like instructions: if you need help, stop at this stop. It was heartbreaking and touching to see people looking out for each other like that. But when that bomb fell over on the other side, the literal question we asked ourselves is like, how far from the bomb should we be worried? It just started the lyrics that just wouldn't stop. So we played around with it, field vibe, so I could get the words out and not cry.
It's amazing how time repeats itself, too. Here we are back in the same boat with these countries, and I wish the wars would stop.
Yeah, for sure. There's a line in there that I feel is probably one of the starkest truths I've come across, which is, peace without justice is just freedom denied.
I like that. Great line. From the brand new album, Truth Is, this is Let's Play a Game.
Well, I've done things for food that I ain't always proud of. Been called and pled my case in the courts of the law. Been told that I'm a soul who ain't got no country. And my life, the silver lining of it all. She said, let's play a game where you sit still and be quiet. The winner gets to dance in their socks tonight. Now I'm gonna lock the door, so don't you pry it. I'll be back with dinner soon. Oh baby, turn out the light. We've marched to the capitals and we've sang in the hollers. We've dined with the kings and we've scraped by in the squalor. But Lord, how hard we've tried. But peace without justice, that's just freedom denied. My brother came to find me later that morning. Our journey stretched along for a year and several days. We picked up a dog whose one good eye led us forward. Maybe we can send for mom, my brother, he'd say. Should we worry? Tell me just how far from the rocket's red glare, and where shall we ease all this suffering? Well, so much goes to waste that should have been shared. Now we march to the capitals and we sang in the hollers. We dined with the kings and we scraped by in the squalor. Lord, how hard we've tried. But peace Will you sit still and be quiet?
Let's play a game. Brand new music. Carolyn Wonderland, our guest on Songwriter Studio. Carolyn, we were talking a little off mic about the mixing of this record, how tight and well mixed volume-wise. The instruments are all in line where they need to be.
Well, I'll say, the producer hat is definitely the mad rearranger, Dave Alvin. The sounds that get put there, though, and that mix, that's the magic of Stuart Sullivan. And those two working together is just beyond any kind of magic alchemy I can describe. But I knew that I loved working with Stuart Sullivan the first time I got to record with him, which was with Jerry Lightfoot's band, the Jerry Lightfoot Band of Wonder. And that was myself and Jerry, obviously, Vince Welnick from The Dead and the Tubes, and Charlie Pritchard and Larry Fulcher and Frosty Smith and Barry Frosty Smith. And it was a great band. But it was the very first time that I heard my voice come back to me. Oh, and John X. Reed, I better not forget, John X. Reed was on that too. It was the first time I heard my voice come back to me in a recording studio that I didn't cringe. It was like, oh, that sounds like what I hear in my head. That's really cool. And he's so fast with getting mixes and just hang on a second, let me move this mic exactly and done. What? He's got a golden ear. So yeah, I highly recommend if anyone's looking for the most awesome, that would be Stuart Sullivan in Austin, Texas.
Let's jump into the next track I've got queued up, Whistling Past the Graveyard. And whoa, the lyrics on this kind of cut me. Let's talk about the great piano solo by Red Young on this one. This was co-written by Dave Alvin. Speaking of Dave Alvin, go ahead and give the little background on this track.
Well, I'd started writing this song one day. My husband went out to get groceries, and I was just, I was just thinking about like the fun that we always have, just despite finances not showing that we should be having as much fun as we do, and just the thematic thing of it's like, well, no matter what, we're just all whistling past the graveyard anyway, and I thought it was fun, but when I'd written it, it was a little hokey, it was like the tempo you hear at the end of the song. That's pretty much the way I had it the whole way through, and when I brought it in, Dave was like, well, that's cool, but what about? And the Mad Rearranger hat came out, and I'll be damned if he wasn't right. It sounded much cooler when it was slowed down and slinky, and had a little bit more of a backbeat to it. And so we made a chorus and just had a ball. And that's Cindy Cashdollar is playing the lap steel on that one. It's just, it floors me. It's so fun. And any chance I get to whistle, I'm incorrigible. So yeah.
Well, Cindy Cashdollar is definitely the best in the business, especially when it comes to pedal steel. She is so tasteful and just always put the right notes where they need to be.
Yeah, she's one of the finest lap steel players I've ever heard in my life, and I love how she gives it up to her influences and her heroes as well. She and I are going to go teach together. It was at the very last of September and beginning of October. They got this Masters of the Telecaster guitar camp up there in Big Indian, so we're going to go be instructors up there or camp counselors. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm kidnapping her for 3 shows. So if you got friends up there in Woodstock or in Massachusetts, tell them to look for us. We'll be there early October.
Sweet. What an honor. Let's jump into that track right now. Whistling Past the Graveyard. Brand new music, Carolyn Wonderland.
My work is done. I'm hanging with my friend. Well, my bills are due, but for now I will pretend, 'cause I'm whistling past that graveyard again. Oh, there ain't nobody lying, I'm doing wrong. Just blowing off some steam, it's been too long. I work hard every day, so if I piss it all away, I'll be whistling past the graveyard all alone. Whistling past that graveyard again. Whistling past the graveyard again. Well, I work hard every day, so if I piss it all away, I'll be whistling past the graveyard all alone. graveyard again. Tomorrow morning won't be near as fun, so tonight I'm gonna go get my bell rung. Next paycheck I may pray that there's more money left to spend, but I'm whistling past that graveyard again. Whistling past the graveyard again. Whistling past the graveyard again. Next paycheck I may pray that there's more money left to spend. I'm whistling past that graveyard again. I said next paycheck I may pray that there's more money left to spend. I'm whistling past the graveyard again.
Whistling Past the Graveyard from Truth Is, Carolyn Wonderland taking us out with some fancy whistling. We're almost out of time, Carolyn. We've got time for 2 more tracks. We're going to jump into Flowers in Bloom. They really slowed things down. This has a jazz background to it. Red Young playing some beautiful B3 and piano. Give the listening audience a little background on Flowers in Bloom.
Flowers in Bloom was, the lyrics are a bit odd, but it was from the point of view that people that you love and you disagree with, you're just going to have to dig that, you know, it's all going to be all right. You will find things you agree on. You will find things you can work on, whether or not you see it at the moment, you know, whether or not you see it from the darkness of your room. And it's a song that I would pull out as a solo piece, and it was just like, man, this is such a weird song. It does not really fit into any genre, but I liked it enough. I figured I had to keep it. So yeah, that's it. Flowers in Bloom. Hopeful piece.
There's such a fine line between jazz and blues, and you just really did a good job of blending the two in this track. From the new album, Truth Is, this is Flowers in Bloom.
You and your self-imposed burdens, me and my big mouth. Well, I don't suppose we read writing from the same walls. I doubt we'll ever figure it out. With everything here so disjointed, and honestly I could use a joint. But we don't pass around a peace pipe anymore. Leaves me wondering, what's the point? Here comes the sun, flowers in bloom, whether I see them from the darkness of my room. Bring on the night, it'll be alright, it'll be alright. Keep bumping into each other like two thumbtacks in a balloon. Now everyone knows that the whole thing is gonna pop. They just act surprised it happened so soon. Perhaps we'll retreat to our corners. Well, I believe I should call it a night. You just go on believing that I'm wrong. everything's gonna be alright. Oh, everything's gonna be alright. I said everything's gonna be when here comes the sun, flowers in bloom, whether I see them from the darkness of my room. Bring on the night, it'll be alright, it'll be alright.
Flowers in Bloom, brand new music, Carolyn Wonderland. I love the jazz. It almost sounds like you're playing an old Gibson L5 in this track. It just has that tone and that feel. Great work by Red Young on B3 and piano on that track.
For sure, man. And yeah, I was playing my beat up Gibson, but it was inside.
And you are such a gifted player, especially on these slower jazz songs. You've got that light touch, and it's just so soothing to the ear. Carolyn, we're just about out of time. I'm going to play one more track off the new record, Truth Is, Deepest Ocean Blue.
Yeah, it was a guitar riff of mine that was kind of like the not so Spanish flea, but it just kept getting stuck in my head. And so like every other sound check, I just pull it out, and eventually the band started playing it with me. It's like, what are we going to do with that? I'm like, I don't know. So I presented it to Dave, just like, here's a song idea. And he's like, well, it's catchy. It's cool enough. It could be an instrumental. And then when we were on the Delbert McClinton cruise, I got to watch my bass player Naj propose to his now wife. And so that became the lyrics. Me and Shelley wrote some together, and then the whole band contributed to the song. So it's actually one of the few that I can say it's like, yeah, that's a whole band composition. And it was really cool to get to include it on the record.
And I did make note that your falsetto in this is just beautiful.
Oh, thanks, man. It's a rare moment in my life.
Folks want to contact you, go to your social media page, check where you're for merchandise and when you're coming to town. Go ahead.
Yeah, I always have to check myself just because sometimes I'm not so sure. But if, like me, you need that reminder, it's at carolynwonderland.com. All the usual social stuff one might expect, pretty much just the concert dates and stuff up there. I try to limit my thoughts on matters to haiku form when I can. But definitely, if you want to come see us in person, Saturday the 13th of September, we'll be at Continental Club, Shelley King Trio opening. And if you want to know what I do in my spare time that matters to me, I volunteer for this group, homeaustin.org, and we raise money to keep musicians 55 and older living in dignity in their own homes. So that's our goal. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, that's where you can find us, homeaustin.org.
That's fantastic, Carolyn. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me and letting me just rattle my head off at you. I appreciate it.
It's been a great interview. I really appreciate it. Thanks for spending about 45 minutes with Songwriter Studio. Have a great show at the Continental Club. Next time you're in town, I'm going to come by and see you.
Please do, man. And thank you so much for your time.
Take care now.
Bye.
big thanks to Carolyn Wonderland with that wonderful interview. We really appreciate it. Coming to the Continental Club next weekend. I would like to introduce Elexa Dawson to Songwriter Studio. She has a brand new record out, Stay Put, sent to me by Art Minius. And we're going to be playing tracks off of that. It's almost exclusively original songs. However, there is one Pete Seeger song off the EP that I'd like to start out this portion of the show with. Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Of course, this was a big hit for Pete Seeger and Peter, Paul, and Mary. Brand new from Elexa Dawson off Stay Put. This is the cover, Where Have All the Flowers Gone?
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long, long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Children pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the children gone? Long time passing. Where have all the children gone? Long, long time ago. Where have all the children gone? Gone to soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? Long, long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long, long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Gone to flowers, everyone. When will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long, long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Children pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? Oh, when will we ever learn?
Produced and engineered by Peter Oviette. Moonflower Sounds, mastered by Brody Wellman. I'm going to jump into the number 2 track off the new album, Stay Put, and this is the title track. Great harmonies on this one as well. Excellent mandolin work. New music, Elexa Dawson.
If I ride the rails across the Mississippi, if I soar across St. Helena in the fall, boy, I tell you I would do a lot less crying if I never went away from you at all. I would wander lazily around our garden, throw parties every Sunday afternoon, make my living doing something far more settled than staying up all night to play my tunes. Only I know why I get restless. If I could tell it all to you, you know I would. But I can tell you something I believe for certain. I'd never write no songs if I stay put. Your love is too comforting to spur me can't tell nobody nothing about suffering, when all you ever do is give me what I want. 'Cause the poet needs to wrestle with her demons, and mine were all enchanted long ago. All they do is lay around in adoration, till I wake them up walking out the door. Only I know why I get restless. If I could tell it all to you, you know I would. But I could say with all the certainty I'm given, I'd never write no songs if I stayed put. 'Cause you're too good to me to give me the motivation. No, I'd never write no songs if I stayed put.
Elexa Dawson, the title track, Stay Put. Up next, Mountain Man off the same album, track number 3. Peter's doing some fine banjo work on this. This is an Americana bluegrass track, Mountain Man off the new album, Stay Put.
Daddy would sing us to sleep, Barbary Ellen. When I was 16, I stole a guitar, made my own way through an open G tuning to the banjo and fiddle tunes close to my heart. They come to me, sweet melody, and I have lived for the love of a song. Inside the music is where I belong. Saturday nights, if I'm right or I'm wrong, all for the music, the love of a song. I dropped out of college to hang with the hippies. Kerouac took me to Granddaddy's farm, wandering the valley with Wild Wakarusa, silver in pocket, a jade lucky charm. They come to me, sweet melody, and I have lived for the love of a song. Inside the music is where I belong. Saturday nights, if I'm right or I'm wrong, all for the music, the love of a song. Amsterdam congas sold on the black market, crashing in pubs protected by the IRA, jamming with Czech bands that didn't speak English. Faraway travels brought me to today. They come to me, sweet melody, and I have lived for the love of a song. Inside the music is where I belong. Saturday nights, if I'm right or I'm wrong, all for the music, the love of a song. After my travels, my home is my fortress. The rain is my water, the sun is my heat. Thinking it's best just to stay in the country, don't trust the government and stay on the beat. They come to me, sweet melody, and I have lived for the love of a song. Inside the music is where I belong. Saturday nights, if I'm right or I'm wrong, all for the music, the love of a song. And I'll keep living for the love of a song.
Mountain Man, brand new music. Elexa Dawson, that is Elexa Dawson. The name of the new album is Stay Put. I'm going to play one more track off this new record, and then we're going to hand the reins over to Pan African Journal. Our friend Akua is up next. Please don't forget to download our new KPFT app. Just go to the App Store, KPFT Radio. You can listen to any show on there just by clicking on it. And don't forget, if you miss our show on Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Sundays, you can go to the archive. Just hit that archive drop down, and for 14 days, you can listen to Songwriter Studio. Until next week, Tom Tranchilla, thank you so much for tuning in and keeping us on the air all these years. Until next week, stay safe and be kind.
Building fires or chasing gophers. Long hot days out on the tractor. Or anything you could make better with your hands. The kindness in the way you loved her, and always stopped to touch her shoulder, or making sure she had whatever she wanted in her cup. We didn't see it coming, so it's hard for us to say. We know you're smiling down from a new tractor seat today. And if the sun was shining where you are, you'd still be baling hay. Grace was in the way you lived, the cheerful way you could forgive. So careful in the way you move through this life. The way you never gave up nothing till it was done and you were happy.